The American criminal justice system currently has roughly 2.3 million people locked up in more than 6,000 correctional facilities. And according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, there are more than 80,000 prisoners in solitary confinement, and it's one of the worst experiences a person can go through. What if you were thrown into solitary confinement? What's it like to live life inside that teeny tiny cell? And what effect would it have on your physical and mental health? It can vary from state to state and prison to prison, but on average, inmates in solitary confinement are kept isolated for 22 to 24 hours a day. Trips to solitary confinement, often called the hole, can be for a couple of days, weeks, or sometimes even years. In one especially extreme example, a prisoner was kept in solitary confinement for 36 years straight. You could wind up in solitary confinement for any number of reasons, from serious infractions like fighting with another inmate to minor ones like talking back to a guard or getting caught with banned items. So what's so bad about a little bit of alone time? Well, first of all, the conditions are terrible. Prison food already has a bad reputation, but many solitary confinement prisoners are only given something called Nutriloaf, a kind of bland log of meatloaf with almost no flavor. And you won't be pulling up a chair to a table for dinner. No, most solitary confinement cells, if they have any furniture at all, consist of a small bed and a tiny table, both of which are bolted to the wall. But being alone can't do any physical harm, right? Actually, an inmate's physical health will often decline severely while in solitary confinement. Many inmates develop a number of conditions ranging from hypertension, chronic headaches, trembling, sweaty palms, extreme dizziness, and heart palpitations. On top of that, due to the extremely small nature of their cells, prisoners' eyesight will often get worse. They become nearsighted and are unable to focus on anything far away. A lack of appetite and drastic weight loss is often accompanied with irregular digestion. And the effect of not talking to anyone for long periods of time can weaken vocal cords, making it difficult to speak for more than a brief period of time. Not only is a prisoner's physical well-being negatively affected, so is their mental health. Prisoners' emotions in solitary confinement can swing drastically, from feelings of panic to rage, irritability, hostility, or poor impulse control. Stress, panic attacks, feelings of hopelessness, withdrawal, and self-harm are all too common. Even when compared to prisoners within the general prison population, rates of self-harm, such as cutting and banging one's head against the cell wall, are particularly high. One prisoner said he was so starved for human interaction that he befriended a wasp that flew into his cell. He was so desperate for a friend that he would feed and have conversations with it. Cognitively speaking, solitary confinement can do a lot of damage to a prisoner's ability to process information. There are many reports of memory loss and impaired concentration with extreme confusion and disorientation in time and space. Because of this, many inmates are unable to read or watch television, which are usually their only available entertainment activities. Adding to the cognitive deterioration of the prisoners, the inability to maintain a coherent flow of thoughts often occurs. This disrupted thinking can lead to symptoms of psychosis. Psychosis is a severe mental disorder in which thought and emotions are so impaired that contact with external reality is lost. Inmates who exhibit symptoms of psychosis report experiencing hallucinations, illusions, and paranoia. Some prisoners' symptoms get so dangerous that hospitalization is required. Maybe the saddest part is that these physical and psychological repercussions to solitary confinement don't end once the prisoners are back in the general population or released from prison. It can take a lot of time and care to make sure the long-lasting mental and physical health concerns are addressed. What would you do to survive solitary confinement? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Fuzzy and Nuts.